Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So today I want to discuss something that someone left on my Facebook page. Someone had left a comment about how they've fallen off their diet and they're having the hardest time getting back on. And I thought this is a great topic to discuss and to give some ideas and some suggestions and some extra motivation for those that have fallen off their diet and they're struggling a little bit to get inspired and back on. So the first suggestion I have is not to think too much about it. Don't be wasting your time planning and thinking and all of that. Just do it. A lot of times people, when they think too much about things, it starts to get too complicated and things start coming up, and next thing you know, people put it off and then it never happens. I see this a lot, is that people start thinking, oh, I want to get onto a healthy diet, and next thing you know, they start thinking about the foods that they can't eat and the events that are coming up, and next thing you know, it just never happens. And so the one thing that I suggest is that if you're at a point where you're kind of just sick and tired of what you're doing and sick and tired of the foods you're eating and just fed up with feeling sick and tired, my suggestion is to start immediately. Don't wait till tomorrow, don't put it off till Monday, none of that. Start immediately. If you're in the middle of eating like a bag of chips, right, and you're thinking to yourself, why am I eating this, and why have I been eating such junk for the past few months, put the chips down and get something that's healthy. Start immediately. And if it's not with what you're eating presently, it's at your next meal that you're going to make that a healthy meal. The sooner you get started, the easier it's going to be. And the main thing is shut off your mind. Don't even think about it. Don't think about the foods that you're going to cut out. Don't think about how you're going to do it. None of it. Just say to yourself, I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to start right at this moment. And one thing though that comes up when I say this is that some people turn around to me and say, well, yeah, but my home is stocked with all this junk food. What am I supposed to do with it? Well, if you have junk food in your home and you're worried about it, my suggestion is remind yourself you have the option. You always have the option whether you're going to eat it or you're not going to eat it. And the one thing about junk food is that it doesn't go bad. It doesn't go bad in a week. It doesn't go bad in a month. You can keep junk food in your home for months or even years and it won't go bad. So just leave it there. Don't touch it, and remind yourself that you always have the option whether you're going to have it or you're not, and you choose not to. And if you're afraid you're going to eat it, then give it away. A lot of times people are like, oh, but I just went and got these groceries. Well, it's not such a big deal. It's a few groceries that you're giving away. I think it's worth it to give it away and to gain better health, to gain more energy, to lose the weight that you've been putting on, all of that. A lot of times if I had said to someone, would you be willing to give away a bag of groceries in order to lose 20 pounds? Would you be willing to give away a bag of groceries in order to feel healthier, to have more energy, to have a higher self-confidence and stronger self-esteem? And a lot of people say, yeah, take everything in my kitchen. I'd love to have that stuff, right? So don't worry about the few pieces of groceries that you got. Either give it away or put it somewhere. But don't let that hold you back from starting to eat healthy, okay? Don't let that control you. The next suggestion I have is to make sure that your kitchen is clean. And I've said this before, and I will say it again, is that your living environment has a huge impact on your decisions, okay? And if someone wants to eat a healthy diet, they need to have a clean, organized kitchen, number one, okay? And even better would be to have a clean, organized home. But I find in general, and I've seen this over and over again, is that when someone wants to eat healthy, if their kitchen is dirty, disorganized, and they've got just constant piles of dishes and it's like never ending, it never gets cleaned, it's really hard to make healthy food decisions in an environment like that. When you have a beautiful, clean, organized kitchen, then you walk in there and you want to make something healthy. You want to make something that's going to support your goals and your health. Right? But if it's dirty and disgusting, it's like you walk in the kitchen, you want to immediately turn around and order a pizza, right? So you want to avoid that. So my suggestion is that instead of using your time to be thinking about what you're going to eat and what you can't eat and all that kind of stuff, my suggestion is just get onto the healthy food and use your time to clean up your kitchen, clean up your home, get everything organized so that you feel good in your living environment so you can make really good decisions. The next suggestion I have is to look back at why you fell off in the first place. A lot of times this is the one thing that people don't really revisit. It's like they tell me that they've fallen off their diet, but they never tell me why. They never even think about why they fell off. What happened? What made them fall off their diet? learn from the past, right? So my suggestion is that if you were on a healthy diet and suddenly you're not, ask yourself, what happened? Why did I fall off? A lot of times people fall off their diets out of boredom, or something came up and they just reached for those comfort foods, or they fell off their diet because the diet was too restrictive, or that they didn't like the food that they were eating, or all sorts of things, or they start doubting themselves. Many things throw people off their diet, and the main thing is that if you want to be successful with being on a consistent healthy diet, you have to learn from the mistakes you made in the past, and you have to make adjustments from that. It's kind of like if someone fell off their diet because it was too restrictive, then why go back on that same diet? It makes no sense. You're almost just setting yourself up to fall off again. And so my suggestion is that if you know why you're falling off your diet, then you can make the changes so that you can stay on the healthy diet, right? So my suggestion is look back and be honest with yourself as to why? What is it that made you fall off? What is it that kept you off? What is it that totally demotivates you? That's a big one. There's a reason why someone's thinking about, not having a hard time getting onto their healthy diet and not being able to do it, and not feeling motivated or excited about it, right? There's something going on. And a lot of times that has to, again, do with that they're expecting maybe too much from themselves. Maybe their standards are too high. Maybe they're expecting perfectionism that they cannot do. A lot of times I see that over and over again, is that people have really high standards as to what their ideal diet should be like. And a lot of times no one can actually do that. No one can follow such a restrictive diet. And it just sets them up for disaster over and over and over again. So it's important to ask yourself, what happened? And how can you make it easier for yourself? What worked from your previous diets and what didn't? And go from there. All right, so those are my suggestions. If you have fallen off the wagon and you want to get back on, get back on. It's worth it. It is 100,000 times better to be back on. And go move forward. Don't look back. Don't feel guilty. Don't worry about it. Just don't even think about it. Just do it. And the last thing that I want to mention, and this is really exciting news, is I'm working on a new program. It's almost finished. I've been working on a 7-day whole food challenge. I've been working on this for over a year now. There's over 75 recipes that I've made for the program. I finally wrote the ebook. That's done. Now I have to work on the rest of the program. But I just want to announce and just let people know that it's coming up in September. I'll be launching it. So I'm going to put a link to the web page where it will be when it's launched, so you can bookmark that. And just to keep in mind that in September we'll be launching the 7-day whole food challenge. So if you enjoy doing the 10-day juice fasting program or the 7-day raw food challenge, you'll love the 7-day whole food challenge. And what is great about this program is it's a program you can follow forever. It's 7 days of eating whole, fresh, real food and a variety of food. It's not a super restrictive diet. And this is something that you can get onto, do it, and then continue doing it forever and ever. So I'm really excited that it's finally coming together, because this has been my own personal goal for a very long time to do, and I'm so excited it's finally happening. So that's it. I'm wishing you guys a super fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.